Choose954 podcast, episode 51, with Chief Curator at the Frank C. Ortis Exhibit Hall and Art Gallery in Pembroke Pines, Taryn Möller. This beautiful space in front of works you might recognize from some of our favorite local artists, KX2. If you didn't know about Choose954, we started a social movement to cultivate culture and community here in Broward County, to keep people to know with all the great things that are going on within the arts and culture, try to make this a better place to live, and not just a better place to vacation. So the point of the podcast is to connect you with amazing people like her that do incredible and meaningful work in the community. This podcast is brought to you by the Thousand Mermaids Artificial Reef Project, creating artistically crafted artificial reefs, help save the reefs, create fish habitats and estuaries, a destination for divers, research, countless other benefits. To find out more, you can log on to www.1000mermaids.com. That's www.1000mermaids.com. You might actually be able to see more of the 1,000 Mermaids here at the Frank coming up soon. Without much further ado, for those that don't know you, why don't you tell us a little bit about Mrs. Taryn Nicoll at a high level?
Well, first of all, it's really an exciting thing for me to have this position here at the Frank. I am lucky enough to have worked here for several years already, since shortly after the Frank's opening in 2017, and I am currently the Chief Curator. So I'll give you a little bit of background, abbreviated bio, if you will. I am originally from South Africa. I was born and raised in Cape Town, and when I was 17, my family and I immigrated to the United States. I was really lucky to have been born to two parents who really fostered my love of the arts from the start. Their only caveat was that if I wanted to have a career in the creative arts, in arts and culture, I had to be very serious about it. So if I wanted to live like a lawyer or a doctor, have the same kind of happiness, have the same sort of success, be able to have like a completely well-rounded life, not just a career, but life in general, then I needed to work as hard as a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer. So whether or not I was an artist or an artistic professional, I had to apply the same kind of discipline and work ethic as anyone else trying to be a success in their field. So that was an incredible lesson for me growing up. I am not the only creative in my family. My brother is a very successful musician, and of course they they taught him the same lessons. We moved to California. My parents sacrificed everything in South Africa to bring our family here so that myself and my siblings would have a future that would be able to foster our passions and the things that we loved most. From there, I researched art schools all over the country. I ended up accepting a scholarship to Otis College of Art and Design in Los Angeles. I completed my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree with honors there, and it's also where I met my husband, Stephen. Stephen was my first major creative subject, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. And then from there, I ended up going to grad school. I studied studio art, obtained my MFA from Louisiana State University, and once I completed that, we were relocated to Miami. Miami was our top choice in terms of where we wanted to go, and after looking at our options in South Florida, we ended up deferring to Fort Lauderdale. So we did Choose954. Happy to be a part of what you're doing here, and we can definitely talk about the benefits of being in Broward County.
Sure.
Later on.
So, would you say that you're living your American dream?
100%.
And you are obviously very knowledgeable, but that doesn't come by accident. That does come by hard work. Mm-hmm. And you pursuing your craft, your passion, and your creative outlet. We spoke a little bit briefly that a lot of creatives might want to be a blue chip artist. Mm-hmm. They might want to be an art fair producer, but there's a role and a need for curators. Can you talk a little bit about from how you initially got into art, kind of how you went down the curatorial path?
Absolutely. So I think one of the most mystifying things about any career in the creative arts is that, unlike a lot of other careers, there's no defined roadmap. A lot of the time, especially if you're young, you're 18 years old, you're looking at what your future might be like. You want some sort of guidance, and you get enrolled in a studio art program. You go to university, and I have really found that you can go to the best school in the country, in the world even, and when you're working in the creative arts, school alone is not enough. We have students graduating with, Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees. They have student loans on their backs. They're thinking that they're, leaving school with all of these skills that are going to make them competitive in the workforce, and they're finding that to not be the case. So, the advice that I would give to anyone looking to pursue a formal career in the arts is you have to be proactive about your work experience while you're in school. So whether that is, working as a studio assistant for an artist, getting a job in guest services at a gallery or a museum, internships, whether paid or unpaid, there'll often be a period where you might be able to get incredible experience, and it might not be paid experience, but it's something that makes you a really, really competitive candidate when you're walking out with your degree. Definitely looking at what your options are outside of your college program.
Mm-hmm.
You could be studying art history, could be studying studio arts, but having some real world experience to add to your resume when you graduate, and then to also teach you what your options are. I think that a lot of students who are passionate about the arts don't even necessarily know that curatorial work is an option for them until they're in their third or their fourth year. Certainly art history majors will know, but there are a lot of exceptionally talented studio artists who have a knack for curatorial work, and they don't know because they haven't gotten out there, they haven't asked the questions, they haven't sought out the professionals.
Mm-hmm.
They put so much faith in their college track to give them what they need that they end up being at a deficit in terms of options. So, whenever students have the opportunity to go to an internship fair, they could end up meeting people who run art magazines, whether
Sure.
digital magazines or published print magazines. There are tons of art historians, curators, preparatories even, that are looking for interns, for assistants. And for the first couple of years, you might just be helping someone to book their appointments, manage their car rentals, make sure that emails get responded to, but you're getting a behind-the-scenes glimpse into what it takes to be a professional, whether it's a professional artist, an art critic, a writer, a curator. There's so many cultural influencers out there, and their jobs are so nuanced, and without having the experience, you can't know whether or not you're really narrowing down what it is you'd be best at.
100%. And all of those things that you mentioned are all parts of the creative economy. Somebody, as we discussed, has to hang the lights and hang the show and and design the flyer and and book the car rental and book all these things, and that all plays a role. Fortunately, through hard work and through your own journey, you've been able to work with some talented folks. Do you want to share a little bit about your path of how you got to being the chief curator at this beautiful space?
Absolutely. I could not have gotten to where I am right now without working for and with some truly, truly incredible individuals. While I was living in Los Angeles and attending Otis College, I had the incredibly good fortune of getting very close to one of my art professors. She is an art historian, an art critic for some of the world's greatest arts publications, and then an independent curator. And I was able to work for her. Her name is Marlena Donahue, and I had the privilege of both assisting her with and working alongside her in the development for exhibitions at the Beijing Museum of Contemporary the Tate Museum in China, different locations across Sweden, the Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery, tons of incredible venues where the stakes were very high, and there was just no room for error. You're dealing with shipping works internationally, you're conversing with internationally established artists, artists that know what they're doing, so they're expecting a lot of you. Facilitating consignment agreements, handling works traveling through customs where the system is different in every single country. So Marlena gave me a huge amount of insight just by letting me walk alongside her and learn about the process from start to finish. She also brought me on board to be a co-editor for numerous international museum catalogs. I was a researcher for her for various articles that she worked with over the years, and I mean, our relationship spans years and years of working together. And again, this is an example of one opportunity leading to another, and never having a lack of appreciation for where something might go. So I met her as a student, I worked with her as a teaching assistant, then I worked for her as a research assistant, came on board with her as a curatorial assistant, and things just snowballed from there. So, something as simple as just being really, really committed to her studies can get noticed by someone who has more knowledge about what opportunities are there, for people. So she made me aware of possibilities for myself that I didn't even know. And
very well deserved. This didn't happen by chance or accident. You did earn it, and you are very deserving. And selfishly, we're super fortunate that we have a very talented, knowledgeable, passionate, and qualified chief curator here now as a result of those experiences and your other experiences at this beautiful space, the Frank Pembroke Pines here in Broward County. For those that aren't familiar with the Frank, why don't you tell us a little bit about where we are right now?
Oh, where to start with the Frank? The Frank is such an incredible venue because it really is for the community and for the people. My own personal background in the arts is really focused on people. That same art professor that I just mentioned, Marlena, she would start out the semester by asking us, okay, as artists, do you make artwork for yourself? Would you be completely happy just making work for yourself and not having anyone else be involved? And of course, everyone puts their hands up. And she said, okay, so what if I told you that you could have unlimited money and funding and materials, and you can make whatever you want and paint whatever you want, but you have to do it alone in a closet behind a closed door, and no one would ever see your work, no one would ever respond to it, no one would ever learn from it. And suddenly all the hands come down, because art is about communication. It's really, our way of challenging ideas and putting our thoughts out there, seeing what other responses are generated through our work. And the same kind of principle operates here at the Frank. So we have all of these gorgeous pieces that we're able to bring in, but the real value to this work is what it can teach our community, what it can share with our community, and what our community is able to accomplish by responding to those works. So the Frank is named for our Pembroke Pines mayor, Frank C. Ortis, and it's named for him because of his lifelong commitment to the arts and culture. He's been, a lifelong advocate for the arts, and it's through his passion and his conviction for cultural producers of all kinds that we have the Frank here today. So, the Frank is really about affecting social change through the arts and arts of all kinds as well. So whether it's visual arts, so paintings, sculptures, all sorts of two-dimensional, three-dimensional works. And we also like to incorporate performance artists of all kinds. So whether, we were talking earlier on about the Art Prevails project, we've worked with the Live Group, we have brought on board ballet dancers, contemporary performers. We really like like to activate our art installations and our exhibitions by incorporating artists that work through different kinds of medium and genres.
And you can't see too much if you're tuning into the video here, aside from this phenomenal piece in the background, but the floors, the high ceilings, the lighting, the layout, the 3 rooms, second floor, which I just found out about today. I mean, it's like an architectural dream. Like, you're building a space from scratch. This is, what it should be like. And then on top of that, for you to bring in world-class programming from local, national, and international artists as well, it would be one thing to have the space, but it'd be another thing to obviously program it at such a level. And we're so fortunate to have you. You care to share a little bit about the current exhibition we have going on right now?
Absolutely. So the current exhibition is called New Industry. And New Industry, I think, is really provocative because it incorporates materials that we see in our everyday lives, but not from a fine art perspective. So it's taking these everyday materials, such as concrete, wood, plaster, aluminum, different kinds of, tactile materials like foil, corrugated cardboard, and it presents to our community how these materials can be used in a very artistic way to create these polished and beautiful pieces that you see in front of you. So it's really about challenging the traditional art making methods that I think a lot of people are used to, as well as incorporating ideas of urban design, industrial architecture, engineering, and the like.
And then throughout the exhibit, you are able to leverage the artists that are local to contribute in other ways, talks, workshops. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have on the schedule that the community can take advantage of?
Absolutely. So coming up this weekend, actually, we have the artists who created this exceptional work behind us, Ruth Avra Dana Kleinman of KX2. They're doing an industrial jewelry making workshop called Industrial Adornments. It'll be this Saturday, October 12th. We're having 2 sessions, actually. We're starting out piloting, having 2 sessions every Saturday that we're running a workshop. So the first session will be from 10 a.m. until noon, and the second session will be from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. The following weekend, on October 19th, we're having a workshop for children, so ages 5 to 10, called Little Engineers, and it'll be a workshop that's centered around robotics and engineering.
Nice.
Yeah. And then at the end of the month, you can definitely weigh in here, but at the end of the month for our very, very well-loved Contemporaries program, we'll be hosting a pop-up exhibition that shines a light on our Choose954 artists.
Yes.
You want to chat a little bit about the artists that we'll be showcasing? Because Evan was a co-curator on this project with me, making suggestions and recommendations for the artists that
If you ever would have told my mother that I would have been a co-curator, she never would have believed you. But if you didn't know about the Contemporaries, it's the 3rd Thursday of every month, or the last Thursday of every month?
The 3rd to 4th.
Okay.
It depends how many weeks we have in that month. So it's typically the last Thursday.
Right, but this would have been Halloween.
Exactly.
So this is the 3rd.
Exactly.
So the way I describe it, and tell me if I'm incorrect, it's a monthly meetup pop-up exhibition. So it's not just an exhibition, but there's the current show that is going on, New Industry, but then in addition to that, because they have so much space, it's such a beautiful space, they have the ability to do a pop-up exhibition where they bring in local artists, not just to exhibit their work, but to mix, mingle, and speak about their work, connect and engage with the community. So Taryn and the team here, Vivian, asked Choose954 to curate and do a takeover, co-curate an exhibit. We decided, as we're continually working to raise awareness about the oceans and the environment and the ecosystem, that we would do a marine eco-art inspired pop-up. So we're bringing in a few of our favorite local eco-marine based artists. Most noteworthy, the Thousand Mermaids Artificial Reef Project, who's obviously near and dear to our heart. So they'll be bringing in some of their sculptures and some of their mermaids that actually started the project before we got to the big 3,500-pound sculptures. We're also bringing in Asbel Dumbier, who is a Cuban artist that makes some unbelievable, unrealistic, realistic underwater paintings that have like thousands of little people in them. It's in certain structures and in submarines and so many different things. He's unreal.
It's sort of surrealistic.
Yeah.
Weirdly like distorted, dreamlike landscapes made of people and characters and figures, like all combining to create this overall very like action-packed scene. I feel like there's so much action and activity. His paintings are very busy.
So, but so beautiful, and like you could look and you might not ever see the same thing twice. There's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of little people. One of the most talented Cuban artists that I've had the chance to work with, he exhibited in Art Fort Lauderdale last year. He'll exhibit in Art Fort Lauderdale this year. He's absolutely out of this world talented. We're also exhibiting Michael Jude Russo, who is one of the most talented upcycled artists that takes everyday items, shoes, any hat, anything, and will make creatures, turtles, fish, and tons of other things out of these items. And he has a house that's for sale in Wilton Manors called the Art Residence Wilton Manors, where he has literally his life's collection, hundreds of works. It's absolutely phenomenal.
It's incredible. I highly encourage everyone to check out that listing, whether or not you are shopping for real estate. I mean, it's really mind-blowing. And I think, again, the epitome of the kind of drive that you have to have as an artist. There's not only just the love of creating your work, but this is an artist he's covered every wall in his house with these exceptional works of art. I mean, he can't stop himself from producing these incredible pieces.
It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant and long established career coming from New York. Absolutely brilliant. You can listen to him all day. And then the last artist that'll round out that exhibition is Steve Diassi, marine artist, who you might recognize his work from. He's done the Broward coastal cleanup posters and like the Palm Beach boat show poster, underwater scenes. Obviously, a lot of fish involved, so in line with the marine eco art theme. He's one of the resident artists in Zero Empty Spaces on Las Olas, our first location. Phenomenal human being, super humble, super down to earth, even though in the marine art space, he's probably one or two notches below Guy Harvey. I mean, there really aren't many more, established marine artists besides Guy Harvey and Steve Diassi. So we're super fortunate to have him. Choose954 live here, come exhibit. So that takes place this month, Thursday, October 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a free event. They provide a great spread, drinks, bites, all the good stuff. And then we'll share a little bit about what we have going on with Choose954, Art Fort Lauderdale, Zero Empty Spaces, some of our other initiatives. You get to meet and greet the artists. The artists will share about their works. What are some of the things that you like about the Frank Contemporaries?
We were talking about opportunities and seizing opportunities earlier on, and I think that Frank Contemporaries is really the epitome of that. It might just be a one-night only pop-up exhibition, but we have had some of our most exceptional artists that we've ever worked with at the Frank contact us, send us their portfolio. We have a year-round open portfolio submission process that's available on our website. We encourage every artist to submit their work to us. It comes straight to us, the whole curatorial team, our whole administrative staff. We do review every submission that is sent to us. And Frank Contemporaries can often take an artist from exhibiting here at the Frank for one night to being one of our main artists that shows in our major exhibitions. We really get to see how the artist, how seriously the artist takes the opportunity, and it's just an amazing way for us to see who's really ambitious out there, both in Broward and Miami-Dade and in Palm Beach. We have artists that contact us from all over South Florida, and they bring their work here, and we get to see it. It's so different from seeing works digitally. It allows all of us here at the Frank to get a preview of what that artist could really accomplish here, and it immediately puts them into consideration for any of our major exhibitions. So again, and this is open to anyone, regardless of what stage in their career that they're at. So we've had artists with 25, 30 years of experience participating in Frank Contemporaries. We've had high school artists and art students in some of the nearby universities be highlighted as well. It is a free event. It happens almost every single month, usually about 10 times a year. And we have beverages and appetizers, and oftentimes we have performing artists as well, not this month, but we'll often have voice artists or guitarists.
Spoken word.
Yeah, spoken word. And actors even doing performances here. So it's truly exceptional. And anyone who's interested can check us out on Facebook or on our website, www.thefrankgallery.org, under our events tab, to find out when Frank Contemporaries or any of our workshops or free programs are, as well as the artists that are being featured that month.
Lovely. And I discovered one month Claudia Chavera, who I actually thought was another local artist, Patricia Beltran, and I said, hey, you don't remember me? And it ended up, they look alike, but it wasn't her. Claude and I established a relationship, a friendship. She participated in the Choose954 Local Artist Discovery Series. She participated in Art Fort Lauderdale. She's done great things. So you never know either who you'll discover, or if you're an artist, you'll never know who's here who might discover you. I'm sure there's other success stories out there as well for people that exhibited and popped up. And also super talented lineup. I mean, I've seen a bunch of local favorites, Sergio and the like. So Thursday, October the 24th, we'll look forward to having you join us.
I also want to mention that that event will also serve as the opening reception for our third space solo exhibition that we have right now. We have a really beautiful mezzanine gallery that's visible right as you walk into the Frank, and the artist that we have being showcased up there right now is Carrie Phillips. She's a really remarkable South Florida staple here, and she has these large-scale, gorgeous textile works in the form of portraits painted through carpet and tufting. So she'll be here in person. She'll be doing an artist talk as well in the third space.
Lovely.
So we do encourage everyone to come and check these really novel and beautiful works.
We spent about 20 minutes in front of them marveling at them. Really powerful stuff, especially as textile and fabric art is very hot right now. And you can't miss it. Well, I mean, you can miss it when you come in, but it's right upstairs as soon as you walk in. So looking forward to that. A couple other things to look forward to. If you are interested in the Thousand Mermaids Artificial Reef Project and supporting, and you want to help create a reef, but you don't have $7,500 to sponsor your own module, we're doing a Create a Reef fundraiser dinner at a place that there's normally a year wait to eat there, Regina's Farm in Sailboat Bend. There is a year wait to eat there because she only does 1 or 2 seatings a week or a month. It's a $100 dinner. A portion of proceeds will go towards creating artificial reef module as part of this project. A 6 foot by 6 foot, 3,500 pound sculpture, which we put in the ocean. And everybody that attends that dinner will have their name on a plaque as a friend of the reef. And we will create at least 1 reef that night with everybody in attendance. The limited tickets that remain, you can find more information at the Thousand Mermaids website, or there's a Facebook event page if you type in Thousand Mermaids Regina's Farm. That'll pull you up to that. That's November the 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. The artist will be there, our reef builder will be there, so it'll be a great opportunity to meet us, find out more about the project, and you can actually support something that's actually making a difference through art. These are sculptures in the ocean. If you want to get a week full of art and immerse yourself, we are getting closer to Fort Lauderdale Art and Design Week in January, which is January 18th through the 26th. It's a week-long guided self-discovery tour of the arts where we work to activate all the cultural institutions from the NSU Art Museum to the Art Serve to Broward Center for Performing Arts to all the resident artist spaces in Fat Village, and Mass District, and the New River Artist Cooperative, and all these places. We're really working to activate and aggregate the arts for 1 week in Fort Lauderdale and in the greater Fort Lauderdale area as well. And we really hope by doing so, as we've seen with Miami Art Week contributing a $550 million economic impact to their local economy for 1 week of art. People say Art Basel. Art Basel is one event, but it's Miami Art Week. That's all of the satellite fairs, all of the artist talks, the dinners, the brunches, the after parties, and everything else in between. You can find out more at www.ftladw.FortLauderdaleArtDesignWeek.com. Social media, reach out to me. That week is also Art Fort Lauderdale, the art fair on the water, which is the only 4-day art fair in Broward County. It's also the only art fair in the world that takes place in luxury waterfront homes on the intercoastal, only accessible via boat. We're going into our 4th year of the art fair. We're going to our 2nd week of the art week. Really starting to make an impact. We're really excited about adding some new levels, really working to integrate consults to bring in top contemporary artists from other countries that you might not discover at Miami Art Week and Art Basel because of the cost. They're only bringing the top artists to Basel, to Miami Art Week, but artists number 2 through 10 from Colombia, Sweden, Taiwan, they deserve to be highlighted, showcased, discovered as well. So we're working to do that through Art Fort Lauderdale, working with consults through the Greater Fort Lauderdale Sister City Initiative. You can find out more about Art Fort Lauderdale at www.artftlauderdale.com. We just released a press week this week with more information. And you can find out more good stuff on Choose954's Facebook event calendar, social medias. I'm an open book. But what I really want to know, and what I'm sure other people really want to know, is why do you choose 954?
I think that Choose954, your initiative, and indeed, I think the thing that all of us here in Broward County are really excited about as far as the arts go, can be summed up in one word for me, and that's opportunity. We have world-class amenities here in Broward County, and so much passion and enthusiasm and willingness to foster the arts. And I think for any artist across the country, it would just be such an incredible opportunity for them to come here and to see what resources are available, how much support there is for the arts, and really, to embrace the opportunity to get involved. And there's so much celebration right now in Broward County, in the 954 area, of artists who are passionate, who are driven, who have big ideas and a commitment to seeing them through and making them happen. There's funding here, there are exhibition opportunities here. There are so many people that are working to promote the careers of artists, to source them, to find them in their studios, to meet them at events, and to elevate them, help them get to where they want to be. And I think for an artist at any stage in their career, living here, working here, contributing to the creative culture here, is just filled with promise.
Amen. And we spoke briefly before about, I view, and I've shared this with folks before, that this is an inclusionary space. And using yourself as an example, with you being relatively young in your career, relatively young in age, would you have been able to walk onto a world-class, beautiful, brand new space and become the chief curator in LA or in New York City in such a short period of time? Possibly, given opportunity, but you're right, the right opportunity was here in the 954.
Right. I I think that people have the opportunity to shine and to showcase their talents and abilities here in a way that's very, very rare. I think a lot of the established art cities, having been educated in LA myself, I had so many incredible opportunities to learn and to see some of the world's greatest art collections up close and personal with my own two eyes, not on a phone. But in terms of breaking out into the art scene there, whether as an artist or a curator or a critic or an art professional of any kind, it's so challenging. It's not a challenge that's not worth trying to overcome,
Sure.
Obviously. But I think that the opportunity to really, flex those creative muscles and figure out what you're made of, and to, test your mettle, see what you're capable of. It's hard to find opportunities like that, and there are a lot of them in Broward right now.
Amen.
So I think, as I said, when we were first starting this conversation, I see the Frank as the jewel here in Broward, and I see the opportunity to represent the Frank in the city of Pembroke Pines as just completely incomparable. I don't take it for granted, and I think it is in large part due to the openness and the inclusivity that we have here. I have also had the incredibly just good fortune of being supported by wonderful, wonderful people. The city of Pembroke Pines has incredible leadership. Like I said before, our mayor, Mayor Frank C. Gordis, my leader, Holly Bonkowski. We have people who truly believe in the arts, and then leaders such as yourself and Andrew, who help pushing and furthering what it is that I'm capable of doing here at the Frank, and all of the other curators and museum and gallery directors like me. So it's really just a remarkable privilege, and one that should not be taken lightly.
You got a great team, and Vivian here, and everybody else on the team, and it's a beautiful thing. And you're right, it's opportunity, and it's not that there isn't opportunity in other places, but you're right. There's a buzz, there's a vigor, there's an energy right now in the arts. The Empty Spaces opening we had, it had upwards of maybe 1,000 people coming and going in one night for the opening of an artist studio space. Like, we haven't seen that before.
Right.
I guess on the topic of opportunity, if you're an artist and you want to connect and engage, come to Frank Contemporaries. We also host an artist potluck. Type in Choose954 artist potluck. We're doing it every last Sunday night of the month, free. Bring a dish. We've had about 25 or 30 people come. You only really need to bring a dish for maybe 10 people. Not everybody eats everything, we've come to find out. So we rotate the venue. Last month we did it at Art Serve, we did it at the History Fort Lauderdale Museum, we did it at Zero Empty Spaces, we did it at an artist studio. This month we're doing it at a brand new studio space, Art in Oakland Park, that's run by Angela Rush, that she just opened to a great reception. So last Sunday night of the month, type in Choose954 Artist Potluck, it's on Facebook, Eventbrite. And also Zero Empty Spaces. If you're an artist, you're looking for studio space, you don't want to commit to a long-term lease, you can't find a warehouse to get for less than $1,000 a month. We make artist studio spaces. We activate vacant commercial real estate and make artist studios available at $2 per square foot, inclusive of water, electricity, and the insurance. It's on a 30-day flex renewable lease term basis, month to month. You can find out more at zeroemptyspaces.com. We're actually doing an open house on this Saturday, at a brand new location we're opening on Galt Ocean Mile in Fort Lauderdale, and a new location we're opening in downtown Hollywood. So we're going to be making over 10 new artist studio spaces available, affordable artist studio spaces with support from Choose954, and we're really excited about that. I'm Evan Snow at EvanSnow13 on Instagram, at Choose954, at Zero Empty Spaces on Instagram. I'm an open book. I'd love to hear why you choose 954, and I look forward to having you tell both of us Thursday, October 24th, here at the Frank Pembroke Pines during the Frank Contemporaries. It's going to be a beautiful evening. And
could I mention one word?
please, go ahead.
Before we wrap up? we have a really exciting collaboration next Thursday, October 17th.
That's right.
Cannot go without mentioning that. It is our Art for the Earth, Artists on Climate Change event that we're doing in collaboration with Broward County Cultural Division. They are also longtime supporters of ours. We're so grateful to have this partner in Broward. And then we're also partnering with the Broward County Environmental Resilience Division to put this on. So we're bringing on experts across the board, whether in terms of arts and culture, and the environment, climate change, sustainability, etc. We are showcasing artists of all different media and genres. So we're showcasing 2 visual artists, Kim Heisey, Lucinda Linderman, 3 literary artists, so poets from Miami University's Sinking City Literary Magazine, and Kellyanne Jordan from The Jordans Create and the Alive Group. She'll be doing a performance of a really meaningful play called A Letter from the Ocean. And we're going to be wrapping up that event with a presentation from one of the representatives from the Environmental Resilience Division, letting people know some action that they can take, some personal steps that they can take in their lives to reduce their carbon footprint and to make a difference as it pertains to climate change. It's really just going to be a free event and occasion where people can get together, learn more, and share ideas. So whether or not you're an expert on the topic doesn't matter. It's a warm, welcoming, inviting space to come to learn more, to discuss, to share ideas, and to start thinking about the topic and see it presented through the arts.
Amen. And art is a problem solver. That's how the Thousand Mermaids Project came about. And there is no planet B. So we take this for granted. We're steps from the Everglades and we're minutes from the ocean. And these are things that are in our backyards, literally, that unfortunately we kind of take for granted a lot of times. And we can't continue to take them for granted, or we're not going to live in this beautiful place and be underwater. But that's another conversation for another day.
We've been very lucky to work with a number of different artistic producers who deal with topics like this, and we were very privileged during our Florida Is exhibition last year to work with the architect and architecture professor Jeffrey Huber, and his take on climate change and sea level rise is extremely positive, as long as we're able to look at the issue and get ahead of it. How do we change our approach to city planning and urban design? How do we accommodate these changes instead of ignoring them and just hoping that they don't happen? So we're trying to take a similar approach here at the Frank, showing positive ways that we can start to get involved and look at it not from like a kind of doomsday perspective, but from just from the point of building awareness and starting to develop various action plans.
Phenomenal. I give you a ton of credit, a ton of respect for you. Very excited to see the beautiful work that you're going to be doing here, and I strongly encourage you to come Choose954 here at the Frank Pembroke Pines, and we'll see you Thursday, October 24th. Have a good one.